no. I on team, but my eyes on winning. I'ma drive the lane until the timer says finish. I won't tone it down, not even for a minute. I'm working like a champion until they say he did it. Never holding back, shooting higher than the Rockies. They just hold the ball stationary like a dog team. Fighting for the W.
What's going on, you guys? You alright? And welcome back to my channel. Now, as you guys can see, before I even get started with this video is a little bit different. As you can see from the title, I'm going to be speaking for myself on what I think motivation is and what motivates me and how I get my motivation and what makes me grind so hard, and speaking on how I see lack thereof motivation. Motivation, honestly, I can only speak for myself because motivation to me is very, very, very different to others. Some people are motivated because they need to get their family out of bad situations. Some people are motivated because they want to get themselves out of bad situations. Some people are motivated because they love triumphant moments. Some people are motivated because they just love to grind hard, and all those reasons are good reasons to be motivated, because when you're motivated, you can create new things and innovations. Even if you're not motivated, you can always do different things, create new things. There's really no differentiation, however the heck you say that. There's no difference and if you create something big or positive or not. There's completely no difference to me. But you know, I was kind of losing my motivation a little bit. I don't know if it's because I haven't been to church in a while, even though I just went, which I feel like it was because of that. Spiritually, I wasn't, where. That's another story for another day. Anyway, to me, motivation is I'm motivated from many things. I'll tell you that now. And I see a lot of people at my school and out and about, out in my community, out and about wherever I go, that's lackly motivated. They're not necessarily motivated the way I'm motivated, and that's okay. We're all motivated in different ways and at different rates and at different speeds, etc., so on and so forth. We're all differently motivated. And I'm gonna try to keep this video short, and if this makes sense, good. If this video doesn't make sense, then I don't know, because I'm just speaking off my head top right now. But motivation, honestly, I feel like motivation is more than just words. To be completely honest, motivation is what the situation you're in is. It's how you feel about yourself. It's how you are about yourself. And I think I might just go ahead and take a little slight turn into self-esteem, because I feel like that's where motivation comes into play. Personally, I am not speaking for anybody else. I'm speaking for me. But I feel like when I look good and I feel good and I do good, that makes me, like I said, that makes me do good, And I think that's a big thing on how I'm motivated and how I motivate myself. I love to motivate others because it makes me feel good. But self-esteem, I feel like it plays a really big part on how hard you grind and how hard you work. Because out in this kind of world, especially if you know networking, and especially if you know, out in the music industry, especially if you want to be, anything socially that has to do with a career, that you have to have a good amount of self-esteem. Personally, that's how I feel. I feel like if I'm going to be a real estate agent, or if I'm going to be, a teacher, I don't know, if I'm going to be, anything that I have to, do to socialize people, I know I'm going to have to have, a good self-esteem. And a lot of people don't, especially at my school. Like, I really see that, like, a lot of people don't have, good self-esteem, which kind of hurts me, especially us being the age we are, 15, 16, 17, some of us 18, especially young women too. Not even take race out of it, but just young women, teenagers. That's just what happens. That's what we go through. It's a part of life. Unfortunately, it has to be a part of life to where some girls don't feel like they're worthy, or feel like they need validation from other people in order to feel wanted, or in order to feel themselves. I feel like it's so sad to see. It honestly is. And I'm glad that I was and this has nothing to do, self-esteem has nothing to do with the people, who raise you, even though it can play a big factor. Yes, it can. But personally to me, I got my self-esteem from, my mom. I got my self-esteem from the people I'm around. I got my self-esteem from myself. I had to teach. I'm not saying my mom didn't play a big part in that. Excuse me. My mom taught me how to be a self-sufficient young Black woman, and I'm very proud of that, and I thank her for that. But I'm just saying that I did have to teach myself, being a young teenager, teaching myself to be good, happy about my body, my face, no matter what I'm going through, no matter what I have on my face, no matter what stretch marks I have, no matter how tall I am, how thick I am, how skinny I am, no matter what, no matter the flaws. That's a better way to say it. No matter the flaws that I have on my body, I know that I am Jada. I know that I am me. I know what I'm capable of. I know the talents that I have. And this is the thing that I see at my school very often. You know, these girls, even these boys, I'm not even gonna be sexist. Even these boys, you know, have amazing talents, or not even, you don't even have to think you have a talent. You're a great person at heart and you're genuinely good. And, you know, low self-esteem honestly masks that, at least what I see. I feel like, you know, they're not seeing they're not fulfilling their full potential. And that's one of my biggest fears, is unfulfilled potential. And when I see that, it kind of hurts, because it's like, dang, like, you're so talented, or you're a genuinely good person, or you have a great smile, and you don't see that because you have such low self-esteem. And it makes me want to say something, but at the end of the day, I honestly feel that in order to have self-esteem, you need to have it within yourself. In order to have that self-esteem within yourself, you need to be happy with yourself. And there's so many things that I could go on. I could write a novel about how to be happy with yourself, but at the end of the day, it takes you and only you to make yourself happy. And another thing is, like, sometimes I feel that people get happy from other things, and that's not a bad thing at all. That's not, like, if I'm going to go to, I don't know, Six Flags, Cedar Point, I'm going to be happy about that. Who's not? You know, there's always going to be something materialistic that makes you happy. But one thing I always keep in the back of my mind, I don't know why I put it, one thing that I always keep in the back of my mind is, you need to be happy with yourself first. Just like you can't love someone else unless you love yourself first. I need to be happy with my inner self and what I go through and things that I go through on a daily basis in order to be happy with other things and other people. Just like I honestly feel like you can't establish a correct relationship if you don't have the confidence and the love within yourself to do that. That's just how I feel. Personally, I'm speaking for myself. I don't feel like I'm speaking for anybody else. I'm speaking for myself and what I see in my beliefs and on that subject matter. But I see that a lot, unfortunately, you know, young black women, young men, you know, that don't have the high self-esteem that they deserve, because their low self-esteem masks that, or their low self-esteem masks what they have on the inside, and their low self-esteem masks who they hang around. And it's kind of bad, because now we've gotten to the point where I see that they have tunnel vision, and they're putting themselves in positions that's not always good, or I'm putting myself in a position because it's not always good. And I've been through that. Trust me, I've been through that. Being a young teenager, you know, I know that I know myself. I know who I am. Of course, I'm still discovering who I am. I have a whole lot of time on my hands and in my life, not on my hands, but I have a whole lot of time to grow and develop as a young lady in my life. But I've been there to where I feel like, dang, like, should I try too hard, or dang, like, do I look good? You know, and I had to kind of brush over that, like, girl, at the end of the day, you know who you are, and you know what you're here for, and you know you're talented, you know what you're capable of. That's all that matters. You don't need anybody to talk to. You don't need anybody to smile with. You have yourself and your family and God. That's what I always remember. I have God, myself, and my family. That's what I always remember. I always remember that. Personally, since I'm religious, I know that I have God. And if you guys aren't religious, or some of you who are watching this, or whoever stumbles upon this video and you're not religious, you know exactly what I mean, though. I know you know exactly what I mean. And I often have to think about that. Like, girl, I came into this world alone. I could self-sufficient, you know, I could self-suffice, you know. It's always good for me, but I hate, you know, seeing young women, young men, whatever the case may be, you know, walk around with low self-esteem. And I know this video kind of doesn't make sense, but I just had to talk about it because it was on my chest. Like, you know, I actually have a friend who never mind, you know, I'm just not going to say anything about that. But yeah, it's kind of like there, like, ooh, like it's kind of there. And I just felt like I needed to vent to you guys, because as I said, you guys are here with me through the bad, the good, the ugly, the cute, all of that. You guys are here for me through all of that. But I just felt like I had to say that, I feel like self-esteem or motivation or lack thereof can come from with you. I feel like the reason why I get my motivation is because of who I am, where I've come from, how I've gotten to this, you know, stature, this place, how I am forming myself, where my future is headed. It's all because of me. And I'm not saying like I got here because of me. No, I'm saying I know my inner self, and I know where I stand within my mind and within my heart. Emotionally, I know where I stand. Mentally, I know where I stand. That's what I mean by myself. Like that's what I mean. And I feel like if you know you have low self-esteem, I feel like it's okay to be a little selfish sometimes. Sometimes you just have to stop, pause, step out of the picture, and just observe. get to know you, get to know whatever your name is, get to know yourself, get to know who you are, get to know what you like. And I know that sounds like weird, but sometimes it just works. Sometimes when you press pause and you step out and you find who you are in yourself, and it doesn't work overnight. It doesn't take a few days. It doesn't take a few months. It'll take some time. Personally, for some people, it takes some time. For some people, it'll take a day or two. You know what I mean? Because all it takes is that, oh, that's what now I feel good. You know what I mean? But I don't know. I don't know if this video made sense, but I just felt like I needed to talk about it because, it's something heavy, something heavy on my shoulder. Like, I see certain people that I know that I go to school with every day that, have low self-esteem, and they're so genuinely good at heart, and I know some people that are just genuinely happy that put on a face, to be that, and it's sad, but at the end of the day, you're going to learn, you know what I mean? And I'm not saying, oh, you're going to learn. No, I mean, like, you're going to learn. I mean, we're young. But I feel like I have a mindset to where I understand these things and I can speak about these things and elaborate, even if it doesn't all the way comprehend with you guys and it doesn't make sense with you guys. And it may not make sense when it's coming out of my mouth, because right now I'm kind of rambling through. I don't know what I'm saying myself, but I know that I have that understanding, that level of understanding that I know where I've been. I know what I'm doing. I know. I can tell you firsthand, like I said, I've been there through those times where it was like, dang, like, what is this all for? Like, is this something I should be, excuse me. So I don't know, it's just kind of heavy on my heart. But motivation is I can, I will, and I did. You know what I mean? That's what I always go through. And this is a quote, I don't know. This is a motto I always stick with. Like, with every bad day, there's always a better tomorrow. With every bad day, there's always a better tomorrow. I always think about that. Like, I didn't have one of the best days yesterday. I did not have one of the best days yesterday, but I still, like I said in my last video that you guys are just seeing, it's all about how you approach things and how you look at things. It's all about how you approach and look at things. If you think negatively, things may be a little bit negative for you and in your life, and you may put yourself in negative situations. It's not like that for everybody, but for those who did understand. And when you come at things positively, it may not be a positive outcome, it may not be a positive day, but you know that you're thinking positively and it's healthy for you and your mind. That's what I think. If I'm not having one of the best days, if I'm not feeling good, if somebody may have said something to me, or I may have seen something that irritated me or got under my skin a little bit, I kind of just think of it, I kind of just, think positively. I always look at it in a positive retrospect, because I try not to be, that downer or that complainer, because I'm blessed. There's nothing I need to complain about. You know what I mean? And I do see some people, complain about things, and I'd say this, materialistic things really don't, for some people, just don't make them happy. You know what I mean? You can have all the things in the world and still be, lonely inside. And that's where loving yourself and understanding yourself and coming to terms with what you have and who you are always benefits you in the long run. Because once you do that, you understand that none of these materialistic things or none of these, irritating things will get to you. Of course, you're a human. You have emotions. It'll get to you a little bit, but not like you when you don't know yourself as a person. And of course, like I said, it won't take a day, it won't take a month, it won't take a week, it'll take some time. Like I said, it may be that way for some, but it may not be that way for some others. But I know for me, I'm still finding myself as a young woman, a young lady. I keep saying woman, a young lady. I know that, it's still taking time for me as a young lady, because I'm still learning, experiencing, seeing, doing. You know what I mean? I did, and I can, and I did, I can, I will, and I did. That's it. I can, I will, and I did. I was thinking about that on my walk home. I'm like, what can I name this video? I can, I will, and I did, And I think I might want to write a book, And I know this may have not have been motivational, but to me, it just, speaking about it and getting it off my shoulders just gave me a better look on why I chose to do this video. Because like I said at the beginning of the video, I did this video because I see it at my school often. I see it around my community often. I see it sometimes, close people to me, I see it often. So it was just good to get it off my chest and speak about it, because maybe some of you who are going through this may not agree with anything I'm saying, and that's okay. Like, I know that when I believe in something, that there are going to be people who disagree, and I'm not here to validate those who disagree. I'm here to validate those who actually want to learn. And I'm not saying I'm a teacher. I'm not saying I'm a counselor. I'm just saying this is something I just wanted to get out. Okay. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. This is one of those serious videos, you know, this is kind of like a talk, a garage talk, you know, this is one of those kind of talks, but I just had to put everything down and just make this video and explain my understanding and my feeling on motivation and self-esteem and loving yourself and feeling that kind of way to yourself. And I know it may have not have made sense because I didn't sit down prior to this video and write my notes or write anything down that I'm going to talk about. I just kind of went off. I went off the top of my head. So if it didn't make sense, I'm sorry. But another one of these kind of serious talks is coming very soon. And also, guys, I got some major heat coming this March. I got some heat coming this March, man. I got some real heat, man. But that's all I got to say, y'all. Let me get out of here. Let me get my stuff done. I'll see you guys